Did anybody know this was coming? I didn't know this was coming. Where the fuck did this come from? Deep Blue Sea 3 is brought to us by John Pogue and stars a whole bunch of people you've never really heard of. We follow a group of scientists that are studying climate change and the effects it has on aquatic life. They're doing all this from an abandoned fishing village on a man-made island called Little Happy. One day, a big boat shows up with an old flame of one of the scientists and some military-looking type of guys. They claim that they're hunting 3 violent man-eater bull sharks that were last seen heading this way. And with these scientists' help, they go into the water to try and find the sharks, and chaos ensues. This is a direct sequel to Deep Blue Sea 2, even featuring the 3 sharks that survived that movie in this one. Now I know what you're saying. When the fuck did they make a Deep Blue Sea 2? Much less a Deep Blue Sea 3. Well, Deep Blue Sea 2 actually came out in 2018, and I did actually see it. Now, while I did actually see that movie at the time, it was right before I actually started my YouTube channel. But I don't really know that even if I had started my channel at that point, if I would have reviewed that movie. Because overall, it was just a cheap rehash of the original movie that added baby sharks into the mix and just really wasn't that good. If you've been watching my channel for any period of time and heard me talk about shark movies, then you will know that I do actually have quite an affinity for the original Deep Blue Sea. It's not a good movie. I totally 100% acknowledge that. But it is a great fucking movie. I love this movie. I understand all its flaws, but I just still love it so much. It is so fun, and everyone involved seemed like they were having such a good time making that movie, and nobody took it serious. Not even the script itself took the movie serious. And that gave it an undeniable charm, and it was just really fun from beginning to end. It was ridiculous as all get out, but that doesn't change the fact that it was entertaining and fun. Deep Blue Sea 2, not so much. But how about Deep Blue Sea 3? Now, admittedly, going into this one after the last one, my expectations were pretty damn low. But color me surprised when I found that Deep Blue Sea 3 is actually better than Deep Blue Sea 2. One of the first things I noticed about this movie is that it takes itself too serious. And as I mentioned a moment ago, that was one of the charms of the original, is that it never took itself serious. But here, even though there are some truly ridiculous situations that come up, the characters always take it way too serious. It doesn't seem like they ever just let go and revel in the ridiculousness like the first one did. I mean, how can you possibly take a scene serious when you're having a fist fight with a guy and then a shark jumps out of the water, flies through the air, and you hold his head up so that the shark can decapitate him and go back into the water, and then you throw him off of you? In what world can you take that serious? I'll tell you what world. The world of Deep Blue Sea 3. I don't have a problem with the scene that I just described. It's fucking ridiculous, and I'm okay with that. But ham it up a little bit at that point. I mean, you're in a movie with sharks flying through the fucking air decapitating people. At this point, it is okay to be a little hammy. As soon as you signed your name on that dotted line for the Deep Blue Sea 3 contract, you let go of all Oscar consideration. So just go with it, man. The performances are fine, I guess, for this kind of movie. They are more or less what you expect from a Deep Blue Sea movie. You're not here for Oscar performances, you're here for shark shenanigans. The story is better than the second movie story, and it's also nice that they're not actually rehashing the first movie story again like the last movie did. Now, at the same time, it is fairly unnecessary as well. I mean, it's okay, I guess, as far as shark attack movie shenanigans go, but there's nothing really great here. It does, however, move at a fairly brisk pace, keeping the energy high at all times, not giving you much time to notice and point out all the flaws, which is a very good thing. One thing about the story I did like, though, was the ending. It did, right there at the end, finally kind of embrace its ridiculousness, and it was pretty cool. It's an explosively ridiculous ending, and I kinda liked it. From a special effects standpoint, they're honestly not too bad. For the most part, everything looks pretty good. There's also a lot less CGI in the movie than I expected. However, there are a few CGI shots in the movie, mostly concerning the sharks, that look pretty bad, and are a stark contrast to the other more or less quality effects in the movie. The movie's not ridiculously gory, but it doesn't shy away from it either. There is a fair amount of gore in this movie. When the sharks get a hold of someone, it is respectably gory, though it is nothing that gorehounds are gonna seek out or anything. With all that being said, I will say that I was actually fairly entertained with this movie. It's not great by any means, but being a movie within the Deep Blue Sea franchise now, I guess, it's a definite step above the last one. And had they hammed up those performances a bit and not taken it quite as serious, they may have been a pretty good contender for the first one. I don't know though, that first one's got some really ridiculous moments that are kind of hard to top. Guys, at the end of the day, this was an unnecessary movie with a bargain bin story, decent effects, acting, and it's a sequel to a sequel that nobody was asking for. But it was entertaining, I will give it that. It ain't great, but it was entertaining, and that's what movies are supposed to be. I wasn't ever bored. And since Deep Blue Sea 3 was actually able to keep me entertained, I'd say that if you're into shark attack movies, especially Deep Blue Sea, then Deep Blue Sea 3 is absolutely worth streaming.
Across the street.
This is by far not the greatest shark movie ever made. Nowhere near it. And it is ridiculous as all get out. But it was honestly still dumb fun entertainment while it lasted. So if you're looking for some dumb, check your brain at the door entertainment for the night, then check this one out. You might have a good time with it. So there it is, guys, my review of Deep Blue Sea 3. They probably don't need to take it any further than this. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Freeport.
That was close.
Now, while I found some entertainment in this movie, really, I gotta ask, who the fuck was asking for this? Who the fuck was asking for Deep Blue Sea sequels at all, much less 2 of them? I don't know anybody who was. I mean, I love Deep Blue Sea, the original one. I'm kind of one of a kind. Most people don't really think very highly of that movie. So I gotta wonder why they decided to even make the second one, much less a third one. I mean, this is what we get. We can get 2 sequels to Deep Blue Sea, but we can't get 1 sequel to the awesomely amazing 2012 Dread. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with the world? When you can't get 1 sequel to Dread, but you get 2 fucking sequels to Deep Blue Sea. The fuck?